everybody to TruExact Show, and we are back. We are going to do a Super Bowl preview because we've covered every week of the playoffs, the week of the NFL season. I just don't got the time, and you don't want to listen to me. But you know what? You got the time now, and I am here with big-time Tim Secor. How you doing, man?
Doing well, guys. Doing well. Let's go Super Bowl boxes, baby. That's all I got to root for.
That's what happens when you're a Jet fan. Nas, how you doing, Mr. Patriot fan?
What's going on, man? Everything's good. How we doing?
Doing great. Sir, your team's in it. How you feeling, buddy?
Man, I'm tired. Let's go. It's almost game time, man. I'm ready. Come on now.
And our special guest, he's joined a couple times before, and he joined the Instagram Live last year for Christmas when I got drunk off of $8 red wine, and I was spewing nonsense, and I almost ruined Christmas for his entire family, which I apologize for to this day. Marc Malusis, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on, Scott? How you doing, man?
I am very good, actually, you know. Yeah, I'm clean shaven as opposed to the past few weeks. Feeling good about myself. It's getting warm right now here in New Jersey. But Marc, I got a gripe with you right now, and I want to touch on this first because not that I love you, Marc. You know that, right? But in 2007, when the Cowboys went 13-3, and they played the Giants in that playoff game, I remember listening to you on the overnight WFAN. And you said this is Tony Romo's time. You said that they were going to win, and they lost.
I was wrong.
You were wrong. Now, when I talked to you back in September on the Instagram Live, I asked you what the NFC Championship would be, and you said we'd have an old-fashioned Cowboy San Francisco Niner one. And you broke my heart again.
Well, I understand that. Whoever thought the Cowboys would be as ill-prepared as they were to take on the Green Bay Packers? Who would ever think that Mike McCarthy would get de-pantsed by LaFleur basically in the middle of the field? I mean, they got completely and utterly undressed, and not just the Cowboys offense, and Dak swallowed his own tongue, but Dan Quinn and that defense had no idea what the hell they were doing as Aaron Jones and the Green Bay Packers ran up and down the field. Jordan Love continued his ascent as a franchise quarterback. Everyone out in Green Bay is like, Aaron who? Because they put themselves another player out there in Green Bay. Yeah, I never thought the Cowboys as a 7.5 point, that's what it was, a 7.5 point home favorite would get utterly and completely destroyed. And to the point where, how about Kyle Shanahan said, when did you start preparing for the Lions? He said, well, I started preparing for the Lions. I started preparing, I should say, for the Packers mid-second quarter. Is when he started preparing for the Green Bay Packers and their matchup against the Dallas Cowboys, realizing that game was it was such an embarrassing performance.
You know, you as a commander,
that should have led to changes, but Jerry Jones now in his old age doesn't want to change. He's like, let's stay the course. And Mike McCarthy is a lame duck coach. Makes little to no sense.
You know what?
I've been trying to tell him.
You had way too much fun twisting the knife there, Marc. You had way too much fun doing that right there.
All you guys do is disappoint. Like, all you do is disappoint. Like, I don't understand. But then you're going to be out there. You're going to be buying the next Cowboys T-shirt. You're going to be wearing the next Cowboys hat. It's going to be the flat brim. You're going to be doing all that. Like, whatever they draft is now going to be the best ever. Like, it's amazing. Like, the Cowboys fan, you haven't had success in like 30 years. And still, like, you haven't. When was the last time you were to the NFC Championship game?
That's not important. We don't discuss the past on this show. But if you must know, I was 9 years old in Little League. I was a young whippersnapper on the Pirates. And Mr. Green was my coach. May he rest in peace. But anyway, enough of the Cowboy bashing, which I'm sure you enjoyed that. By the way, Jordan Love, have to say, Marc, I did call that 4 years ago. Just throwing that out there. Anyway, we'll move on. So I do want to start with Sir. We're going to get right to the game here. I want to know how nervous you are and how you feel about it. And before we get to our pick, what do you think the X factor is and what the weakness is and what you have to do to exploit Kansas City? Go on, Sir. Take the floor, Mr. 49er.
Well, I mean, hey, listen. 30 other teams are jealous of the spot I'm sitting in right now. So, listen, I'm nervous. It's Pat Mahomes. I've been saying it all postseason. It's tough to bet against that man. So, so we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, they made it. I'll definitely be watching. I'll have a few beverages in my system by halftime. So, but you said the X factor, or you do that now? Or?
Yeah, go with that now. Who do you think?
All right, so I had two X factors for this game. The one number one, Chase Young, because
Okay.
like all season, like not all season, but like last playoffs, you know, he wasn't really hustling as much as we're in the last week, and we're talking about hustle and like effort. Come on now, like with Bosa on one side, he should be bringing the heat because they don't really blitz as much. They send the four, and they usually have the linebackers drop in the zone with the corners playing. So you got to get some pressure off. You can't just be lackadaisical. You
Mhm.
know, your effort should not be questioned ever, and especially in the Super Bowl, the biggest game of your career, shouldn't be questioned. And then the second X factor was Jake Moody. Yes, we're talking about kickers here. If this game is close, and a lot of missed kicks have been, including Moody. Moody's missed a kick in each game this postseason.
Mm.
So, I mean,
Look,
he replaced Robbie Gould, and Robbie Gould never missed in the postseason. So,
true.
as a rookie kicker in a big spot, hopefully he comes through if need be. But
Sir, if this was around the horn, I'd probably give you like 4 points there. Bing, 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 bing. But this ain't around the horn, but you did well, and I appreciate it. Mark, let's move to you. I want to ask you a question before you get to what your thoughts on the game are, though, for your picks. Have you ever seen such an unbalanced quarterback matchup? I've heard people talking about it in a Super Bowl. Purdy Mahomes. I've heard Rex Grossman, Peyton Manning. I have one that comes to mind, Chris Chandler, John Elway. Do you think that this is one of the most lopsided?
Yeah, Chris Chandler and Elway was one in terms of, accomplishments and what the other. I mean, you have to be a decent quarterback to get there. Like, Dilfer got there with the Ravens. That defense was obviously dominant. He did what he needed to do. They had Jamal Lewis running the football. In terms of disparity with accomplishments, I think that's fair. I think that, the Grossman, Eli Manning one.
Peyton.
And down in Miami, what was Prince? I believe was the halftime show that year. Yes, it was funny. I was down at Super Bowl. Just a quick story, side note, that week. And sometimes you'd see players out and about. And I was out with Chris Russo and some other guys that were working on the show, Ed Erickson and others. And we went to Joe's Stone Crab in South Beach, famous stone crab place and whatever. And we sit in this big room, and who's sitting like right across from us is Rex Grossman and the other quarterback. I forget who the backup quarterback was. And
Kyle Orton? Was it Kyle Orton?
Yeah, I think it was Kyle Orton. Yeah. Good call. Kyle Orton and the rest of the Bears offensive line, as they were having like a kind of a offensive line quarterback dinner. So it was pretty cool. But I mean, that wasn't a great game, but that's fair. I think Purdy. See, here's what bothers me. He's not Mahomes. And Mahomes is a GOAT, but here he's going to be Mahomes. He's not Brady yet. Here's what bothers me in this constant dribble of conversation about really what Brock Purdy is as a quarterback. Listen, he's good enough to get him there, good enough to orchestrate a 17-point comeback in the second half against the Detroit Lions. Yes, he has talent around him. Tell me a player that doesn't. Right? I mean, are the Kansas City Chiefs sitting here, even with Mahomes at quarterback, if Travis Kelce is not at tight end? The answer to that is no. Right? Yeah. So you need players, right? Gronkowski with the pay. Like, you need players. Now he's got Debo and he's got Ayuk and he's got Kittle, and we understand McCaffrey. He's loaded with all pros. Trent Williams at left tackle. There's no doubt. But I hate kind of trying to knock Purdy, what he is as a player. Yeah, there's a ceiling to his game, but the 49ers have shown you that they can win with him, and that team absolutely adores and loves him. So, but there's a disparity. I think the easy kind of handicap when you look at this game would be look at the quarterback and coach and saying, I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs because it's Andy Reid, it's Patrick Mahomes. Best player on the field is Mahomes by far. He wins this game on Sunday. The Chiefs are a dynasty. He's well on his way. He's only in his late 20s. What is he, 28?
Yeah.
They played in 6 straight AFC championship games. There's so much in front of Patrick Mahomes that they win. But, yes, there's a disparity between the two.
Nice. Do you have any X factors here, Mark? What do you think?
Yeah, I think Shar hit upon one. I think the kicking game's a huge one.
Yeah.
He brought up Moody, who I think is terrible. And he's a rookie kicker. He's got a big leg. I get he's cheap, but we've seen it before. And I don't know if he's going to make a big kick. Here's the one thing. There's a big advantage when you look at Kansas City's kicking game as compared to San Francisco.
Yes.
Like if you're lining up from 52 yards out, you have every confidence in the world Kansas City is going to make the kick, right? Harrison Butker has been that kind of kicker throughout the course of his career. I have no idea if Moody's going to a kick. Like, it's a roll of the dice. It really is. He's got a big leg. He could miss it. We've seen him miss big kicks. We saw him miss a big kick in Cleveland versus the cost him a game earlier in the regular season. I think that's a huge X factor. I think, to me, though, the biggest one is when I look at a game plan is Wilks, the defensive coordinator of the San Francisco 49ers. They got to do something different for San Francisco defensively. They've not looked right. They're not as sure of a tackling team as they were a year ago. They don't get consistent pressure. They got pressure in the second half on Goff at times because they blitzed, because they did something different. And you can't play zone against Andy Reid and the back end of that secondary. Mahomes will pick you apart.
True.
He really will. And he has the ability to evade the pass rush as well. So I'm curious about Wilks. I think he's, I think he's a huge X factor in terms of the game plan he calls, trying to give Mahomes and Reeds a different looks here. Because if he plays the way that he's played defensively here against Green Bay, against Kansas City, I'll tell you, Purdy and that offense better be good, because that 49er defense is going to get shredded.
Fair enough. And Sir must love you, because out of all these weeks, you're probably the only one who's really went to defend and went to bat for Brock Purdy on this show. So, Sir, there you go.
Everyone loves to rip him. I mean, every day I wake up, it's another tweet, it's another story about.
It's not.
Thank you, but talk to him. You know what I'm saying, like,
it's not ripping him. It's just he's the fifth most important player on that offense, in my opinion. That's all. That's all.
I'm just saying, but the last time I checked, this is football. Mahomes is not going against Purdy. He's going against the Niners defense.
Agreed.
And Purdy's going against that KC defense. It's not, Purdy versus Mahomes. No, it's the Chiefs versus the Niners.
You know? Sir, you shouldn't care. If you win a Super Bowl, it could be me playing quarterback and you're happy. Who cares who's playing quarterback?
You ain't lying about that. You ain't lying about that. No, but he did make a good point about the defense and the pressure-wise, because I heard this recently. It was the coach, Wilks, like he's the former cornerback, so he likes to drop people and blitz the four, whereas D'Amico and Salah, they were more linebackers, so they had the linebacker mindset of rush the linebackers and the front four and have the corners on an island. So it's kind of interesting take on the. But yes, he does need to bring pressure, because Mahomes will eat him if he does the same look twice.
Agreed. Well, in Madden, I'm Mr. Engage 8. I send everybody. It's probably why I lose 56-7 every game, but I still have a good time, you know? Nas, you've seen 6 Super Bowls because you're a young... Mark, listen to this. You want to talk about me in the 90s with the Cowboys? Nas is in his early 20s, Patriot fan. So he'll be 30 one year and put up with the shit I'm putting up with now with the, oh my God, this is miserable. So you had your fun, Nas. Enjoy it, because you're not going to see another one for a long time. Nas, your thoughts on the Super Bowl? This is your first time analyzing one, which will be on YouTube, on SoundCloud, on every streaming platform. Maybe only 12 views, but it'll be 12 people who are going to criticize you. Go on, Nas.
I think the X factor of this game, they both kind of touched on it. I think it's San Francisco's front seven. If you look at it, all the games in the playoffs, Isaiah Pacheco has been running the rock consistently, and that offense has been feeding upon them. So I think if Fred Warner, Greenlaw, and those linebackers come up, play physical, fly around, and do what they've been doing all season, and that D-line can pressure Mahomes and make him uncomfortable, I mean, I know it's hard, but and make him have to step up in the pocket, I feel like the 49ers have a good chance to win that game.
That's fair enough. And you know what? Once again, Sir, you got a fan here. Wait till you get to me. I got a lot to say about you.
It's all right. I'm sorry.
All right, Tim, me, you, Mark, and Nas are the losers on this show as far as the Commanders, the Patriots, the Cowboys, the Jets. You know, so
than the Commanders.
Yeah. Well, the Jets are getting there. Let's be honest.
That's fair.
Yeah. At least you've seen 3 Super Bowls, right? Yeah.
No, that's true. That's true. You're right about that. How about, just on a side note from the Jets, you see that comment by Woody Johnson saying the Jets didn't have a backup quarterback last year? I mean, Woody. I mean, NFL honors night. I mean, yeah, then blame your general manager, Joe Douglas, right. But they're all coming back.
Yeah, you know what? That's Aaron Rodgers for you. But, Tim, how do you feel about that? Touch on your Jets before you get into the game. You know, after seeing all this stuff come out, are you like, same old Jets, or are you just ready to jump out the window?
Listen, we're always going to be the same old Jets until we're not the same old Jets. So get me Aaron Rodgers healthy. draft offensive line, and please don't let him get hurt again. And then
Well,
we'll see what the season goes.
To be good, though, see, Mark, Tim's an Oriole fan, though, so he's got something to look forward to this year.
Oh, congratulations on Corbin Burns.
Yeah, there you go. So, they'll just break his heart like they did in 96, in 98, in 2014, but at least you'll be there, right?
If I see Jeffrey Mayer somewhere, I still hate that guy. Either way. So,
Wrong with the game, Tim.
Yeah, I'll jump right in. I mean, I literally, my X factors, I put the 49ers linebacking core. I think stopping Travis Kelce, he's been the same old Travis Kelce in the playoffs that we're used to, although he had a little crappier end to the season. And if they can help in the run game, because Pacheco's been, he scored a touchdown in 3 straight games. He's been very efficient, Rutgers, RU.
Yeah.
But that was it. Those were my X factors.
Are you excited for the game, Tim, on a scale of 1 to 10?
I hate that the game is on a Sunday and my Monday is going to be absolutely miserable. But yeah, I've got enough money out there in Super Bowl boxes and side bets that I will be very entertained by the game for sure.
All right, before we get to the picks of the game, I'll give my X factors. Sir, you touched on it with Moody. I'm actually going with the kicker for the Chiefs. I think that there's going to be a couple times where they're in that dead man's area. Is that what it's called, dead man's, or is that tennis? I don't know. That one area where you might kick, you might go for it, and they're going to have to make a decision, and there's going to be some 52, 55-yard field goals, and obviously they won't take them as the Niners. I think they go for it, but Andy Reid might be more likely to take some longer kicks with Butker, so I do feel like the kicker on the Chiefs is actually going to be the X factor. Probably wrong. Don't take my word for it, but let's get into our picks here for the game. Analyze game, big, get into our picks. Sir, I'm going to you last. So we have the Chiefs. It ended at a +2 with an over-under of 47.5. Mark, give us your breakdown and give us your pick for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm gonna go against. I could be dead wrong, and
Hold on, Mark. Sorry, really quick, Mark. Is this exclusive? Have you given a pick yet?
No, not yet.
This is exclusive then.
This
Sorry.
is exclusive content.
There you go.
Exclusive content right here, right. I have the breaking news. I'm going to take San Francisco. Everybody likes Kansas City is a very public team, and I could easily honestly see them being the favorite in the game. I don't know, for some reason all week long, I just kind of had a feeling that San Francisco is going to find a way. Now, there are things that have to go right for San Francisco. They got to run the football. I believe they have to win time of possession. I don't think they can, I think they can lean on that offense, but that defense is going to have to come to play, and they can't get off the slow starts as they did against Green Bay and certainly as they did against Detroit. I'm going to go on the experience that they had a number of years ago where they lost the Super Bowl 54, blowing a 10-point fourth-quarter lead to Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs. They're favored in the game. Even though everybody I talk to likes Kansas City, I'll take the 49ers in a relatively kind of high-scoring affair. I'll say I take the 49ers 31-27.
Ooh, so if you got 1 and 7 in your box pool and you win, send Mark a tip. If not, you can blame me. Nas, we're going to go to you. Once again, first Super Bowl pick ever, live for you. As a young kid, you could be ridiculed the entire summer at the basketball courts if you get it wrong. Go on.
I'm going to take San Francisco. I'm going to go with San Francisco.
Sir.
I feel like Christian McCaffrey. I feel like the 49ers offense are going to lean on Christian McCaffrey, whether that's in the passing game, the running game. I feel like they're going to get him going. Debo's a threat at all times. Ayuk, and I feel like George Kittle is going to have a real big game. I feel like the defense might be shaky at times, but they'll do what they need to do to win. So give me the 49ers.
All right, fair enough. Give me a final score, Nas, just for the box pool.
I can see it going maybe 37-34.
Damn, that's a high scoring one.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll blame you if my numbers don't hit, as well as I'll blame Mark. Tim, let's go to you. Boy, am I hoping to pick the Niners too.
The kiss of death. I got the Niners. -2.
Oh, no.
I have to. I'm going to go with the best team that's in the playoffs, and to me, that's the Niners. CMC, they're not going to do what Baltimore did. They're not going to all of a sudden not use CMC in the game, right? They're going to lean on him. Their defense is going to step up. I think I'm going to go It has nothing to do with the numbers that I have in my biggest money pool, but I'm going to go 38-28.
You happen to have 8-8?
I can't confirm or deny that. It may be possible.
Oh, well, I hope it's 38-28 the other way for the teams you don't have. Just that would be a real shot to the heart there. Well, I'll let Sir go last, but I just have to say, haven't you guys learned? Haven't you learned? The last 2 weeks, I have said to you, I have 2 rules when it comes to betting sports. And Mark, you don't know these rules, but they know damn well my rules. If you get Alabama in college football as plus money, you take Alabama. And if you get the best player in the world as an underdog, you take the best player in the world. And there is no way Patrick Mahomes is losing this game. Sorry, sir. But I just don't see it. I can't, until someone beats him as an underdog, I can't pick against him, and I won't do it. I've been riding with him basically since week 18, and we sat here the first week when they played the Dolphins. I said it wouldn't be shocking if they're in the Super Bowl, and here they are, and they're going to be the first team to go back-to-back since the Patriots in 03-04. Now, as you might have been a little too young to remember that, but I'm sure you enjoyed it as like a 2-year-old.
Didn't they play Carolina and Philly?
They did very good, and Donovan McNabb puked in the huddle, and they didn't run a hurry-up offense with the coach who was Andy Reid, and he learned from that. And see, that's how things go full circle here. 20 years later, and lo and behold, Andy Reid was the coach during the first Puppy Bowl, and he is the coach during the 20th Puppy Bowl, which is taking place. This thing is going full circle, and I think the Chiefs are going to win this game 27-21. I don't have a 7 or a 1, at least I don't think so. So if somebody hits that in my pool that I'm running, I'd appreciate a tip. So, sir, 27-21, I got the Chiefs. I know you don't want to pick the game, but I'd love to hear your over-under, sir. Go for it.
Oh, no, I'm definitely taking the under. I don't think Brock or the Niners want to get into a shootout with Mahomes. Like, it's not advised. But the thing that got me this week was Kittle. They showed a clip of Kittle after the Super Bowl 4 years ago saying, "I'm gonna make it back here and I'm coming back with a vengeance." Fred Warner came out and said the scars from that game still linger. And Debo's always already stand on his business. This team is hopefully, they should come out ready to play, ready to ball out and get that get back, because they lost to the same team. They lost to Mahomes. The team is different, but they lost to Super Bowl to Mahomes. So Shanahan needs this. He needs the Super Bowl. Like, if out of everybody's like, oh, who's got the most to win? I think it's Kyle Shanahan, because he's already, when he gets the big, he's blown a couple leads in big games. So he needs that W. But
I have a question now.
I'm gonna go. Let's go. Niners win, Chiefs lose.
Okay. You know what? That's 4-1, which means, sir, congratulations. You could just lock up the Super Bowl. You're in.
But you guys might be the first 4 that I've heard or seen this week that has picked the Niners. Yeah, everybody and their mother has been picking the Chiefs.
And then the only 4 that matters in your heart.
Is 100% right.
Yeah.
Tim picked the Ravens last week, and
yeah, not good. Not good. Nas, you had a question. What was it?
What happens to the 49ers if they lose this Super Bowl?
With Shanahan?
Yeah, what do you think?
I don't know. Let Surfield this. It's your team. Because I thought McCarthy should be gone, but here he is. So, we'll see what the Niners do.
How do they lose? Do they you know what I'm saying? I think how they lose is important also. If they get blown out the water and if Purdy plays bad, then they got to. I don't know, but if it's a close game, depends how they lose.
Fair. Mark, what do you think? You think they move on from Shanahan if they lose or no? Or is he on the hot seat for next year at least?
No, I think he's locked in.
No. Shanahan's not going anywhere. They love him out there. Him and Lynch work really, really well together in San Francisco. If they have a bad, so say they get destroyed, for argument's sake, and that defense gets shredded. They've invested a lot of money in that defense, especially that defensive line. Could that cost a guy like Steve Wilkes' job? Yeah, maybe. That now be 2 Super Bowl losses, the consistency of play in the regular season. Now it's not a matter of winning regular season games, it's about winning the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but as far as Shanahan, he's not on any hot seat. They love him out there. And he's one of the best coaches in the National Football League.
That's fair. I agree.
Yeah.
They'd have to be stupid to move on.
I think if they get blown out, I do say Wilkes because the defense has not looked the same since he got there. Like the last 2 years, they've been definitely a lot different. Like stopping the run used to be a key part of that defense, where like nobody would run on them. They didn't give up a 100-yard rusher.
No, you're right.
And now this year they're getting ran on like Swiss cheese. So like it's definitely a different defense. Like, so I think if they get blown out and Mahomes stops say a 40 burger on them, I don't know. You gotta kind of look at Wilkes and like what's he really doing? Like
That's fair. Yeah, no, I agree with you, but I doubt they'll do that. Well, there are our picks for the Super Bowl. We'll move on really quick. Actually, really quick. What's your drink of choice, Mark, during the Super Bowl? Let's go through that. Drink of choice.
I'd be like a nice beer.
Yeah,
like
what kind?
of beer?
A Bud Light Lime?
No, not a Bud Light Lime.
Yeah,
no.
who drinks those? I don't like those.
No. I'm not judging anybody. No, I drink like let's see, like a nice like a Blue Moon, or what's that orange beer? Like a nice Heffenweizen.
Mark, it's like we're sponsored here. Look at this.
Oh, there you go. Very nice. Yes. Like a Blue Moon.
I'll have to blur those out, like the Busta Rhymes Wuha video on his jacket. Just blur the logos out.
Like something that's citrusy, a little refreshing. It's nice. A little slice of orange in it. Like that's nice.
Right. My drink of choice is a Shirley Temple. I'm gonna drink one of those while I watch the game.
Drinking a Shirley Temple as a Cowboy fan figures.
A virgin Shirley Temple. It's a weekend. I don't want to get drunk. Nas, what are you drinking? Drink of choice.
Probably, I don't know. It depends. Most likely, probably like lemonade or something like that. Iced
Oh my
tea.
God. Oh, that's good.
Living on
Good
the edge,
job,
dude.
man.
Mute. Get him out.
Yeah. Blue Moon is gonna be pissed at me. They're gonna send me an email.
Well, all right, maybe a Long Island iced tea. Maybe I'll have a Long
that's
Island iced tea.
that's like even worse. I'd rather. You know what, Nas? It's okay. Maybe I'll bring you the Shirley Temple. We'll do that.
You guys can do it together. Nah,
Tim, drink of choice.
I'm either gonna go High Noon or I'm gonna go Tito's and Club.
Great,
Those
sir.
are my two
What will
go-to.
you, sir? What will you be annihilating your bowels with while you're stressed?
Everything.
Everything.
As long as it's cold, I'm drinking it.
That's fair. All right, really quick. We'll get in, if you guys have them, we'll get into a same game parlay here. Go through this really quick. So I got Kansas City winning, Purdy under 248.5 passing yards, Patrick Mahomes over 1.5 TD passes, and Pacheco over 16.5 receiving yards. I think there'll be a blitz screen and he gets like 16, 17 yards. That's 50 for 500, 25 for 250, 1250 for 125, 625 for 62.50, and 312 for 31.25.
Yeah, very nice. Well done.
Yes.
Chat, did you see the steam coming out of his ears at the end?
I always try to do that, Mark, and that was the first time it ever worked out. Sir, what's your same game?
All right, so I got first McCaffrey over 89.5 rushing yards. He's been over this total in 7 of 8, and the only miss was against Washington when they pulled him because he got a little banged up and they already had the game in hand. Second one, Brock Purdy over 12.5 rushing yards. This postseason, he's been scrambling, making plays with his feet a little bit, and say over 12 yards. That's a 13-yard scamper, and that's a winner. The only thing that would hit that bet is if a last-minute victory kneel down, but I'll take that. If that happens, I'll take that L. And then third leg, Isaiah Pacheco, over 67.5 rushing yards. He's been over that total in all 3 postseason games, and he's been getting a ton of carries, 24, 15, and 24 in his last 3 playoff games. So that's a plus 525 SGP.
Okay, so that's 50 for... I'm not doing this again. My head hurts. I'm sorry. Mark, you got same game parlay?
Yeah, I'll give you that some idea. I mean, I like the 49ers in the game. I would take McCaffrey over his rushing yards. I don't know what it is offhand.
89.5.
89.5. I'd take McCaffrey. If I believe the 49ers are going to win, I think there's a correlation where he's going over 100 yards rushing because they're winning time of possession. A guy that I like kind of a deep throw, I would take Marquez Valdez-Scantling because there'll be at least a couple of throws downfield and MVS will be targeted. I'd take Valdez-Scantling over his receiving total. I think it's like 19.5 or 20.
Yeah, I checked. Last time I checked, it was like 17.
Yeah, 17. So I'd take Valdez-Scantling. All it takes is one catch. So I'd take Valdez-Scantling over his 17 yards. And then I'm going to look at it and say to myself, well, who is Kansas City like in Spags? Who are they going to try and take away? I think they're going to try and take away Deebo Samuel. So they're going to run it. So that's going to leave things open with Brandon Ayuk. So I would take Ayuk over his receiving total as well. So I'd go McCaffrey over, Ayuk over, Marquez Valdez-Scantling over his receiving yards, and I like San Francisco to win the game.
All right, perfect. We don't have odds for that, but I'm sure Nas will add to that, and he won't have odds for his because he never does. Nas, go.
I do. It's actually I got a parlay. It's plus 1300.
But it actually like became a thing that where you don't give odds. So I'd almost rather
Yeah,
have
I
you
know.
stick with it. That's your tradition.
All right. I got Debo anytime. I feel like he catches like a little screen pass or a swing, or they down on the goal line, a little jet sweep. He scores. I have both quarterbacks, Purdy and Mahomes, to throw for 200 yards, and Travis Kelce to get 70 yards receiving.
Nice.
Not bad. I like that one, Nas. I won't be putting it in, but I'm rooting for you. Tim, go.
I probably went with the cheapest 3 leg same game that you possibly can.
That's because you're just hoping for the 8 and 8 to hit. You don't got a lot of money right now, Tim.
So see what had happened was I went San Francisco -2. I took CMC for anytime touchdown. I think that's come to be basically a no-brainer that he's going to score in the game. And I'm taking Pacheco for anytime touchdown. Scored 3 straight. Niners, as Sir said, is Swiss cheese against the run.
Lately, I mean, hopefully they step up, but lately,
and that's plus 345.
Jeez, that's all right. You know,
he's like, it's not even worth betting. Like, why would I bet to win 3?
McCaffrey anytime score is -200. So
yeah, it's just good job, Tim. You could join Nas with his Long Island iced tea. That's a good job.
And fuck you up.
All right, so we got to just some prop bets really quick. Random prop bets I threw in. I like the orange Gatorade. I think it's the best flavor. That's a plus 300. I also like the opening kick not to be a touchback. I feel like someone's gonna, it slip. I think one of the kickers is going to slip and it's just going to roll and it won't be a touchback. That's going to happen. Watch. I travel from the future. The future past, it all works. Plus 245 and most rush attempts. Isaiah Pacheco at a plus 155, which is kind of random, but I think that the Niners or the Chiefs are going to have the lead and they're going to run the ball a lot in the fourth quarter and he'll end up with the most rushing attempts. Anything weird for you, sir, whether it's prop bets?
Nothing really weird, but like one of my favorite ones is, the coin flip. Tails never fails. Give me tails. You know what I'm saying? And then the one I was looking at was the jersey number of the first touchdown score. It was over under 22.5. I like the over, which pretty much means it's McCaffrey, Kittle, and Kelce versus everybody else. Because, everybody has pretty much a low jersey number. So if you like one of those two to score, take jersey number over 22.5.
I really hope the punter scores the first touchdown. That would be great. And it's like, what if it's a punter number 2 or something? Who knows?
I had some other bets, but they weren't really props. There's more of a McCaffrey longest rush of 17.5 yards. He's been over that, and I feel like he's going to get a lot of touches. Then again, I said KC can't stop the run, which I thought Baltimore would take advantage of that, but we saw what they did. And then Purdy, longest completion of 37.5. Even though Lamar didn't play the greatest, he still had 2 such completions last week. So, if the run game works, they'll play action up top to Debo or Ayuk or or even a little screen pass to McCaffrey, he takes it and for 40 yards.
Yeah, they'll just throw it up off the guy's forehead. It'll bounce right up. Ayuk will catch it. It'll be
either way.
Same thing will happen.
Winning bet if that happens. So,
all right, Mark, you have any weird bets? Color Gatorade, anything?
No.
Give me the color Gatorade. What's it going to be? Gatorade bath.
I like orange as well. I'd say tails. I'd go over on the national anthem.
Okay, I don't know what it is, the over or under national anthem. Nas, anything weird?
141, but
141?
It's not really weird. I think the Gatorade is going to be yellow, and then I have 2 like little. It's not. I guess they're prop bets, but I don't know. Something all week's been telling me that Justin Watson is going to score their first touchdown. It's at plus 3,200.
Oh,
I like that. I'm
just getting up. Yeah, I don't know.
Are you good with them?
No, not really, but I don't know. Something is just telling me.
Oh my God, I should go open up the app right now. Like, do you have these like premonitions? Like, are you good with those? You're like, no.
Not really, but I'm just getting a feeling that it's going to be Justin Watson. And then I got another one. The sportsbook has like this little prop where they go like who catches a pass on the whichever drive. I think Isaiah Pacheco is going to catch a pass on the first Kansas City drive.
Okay.
That's my little
Fair.
weird.
Now, if I know Tim, and I do, he's got some weird ones, and I do think he'll pick something dumb like no Gatorade bath because he's anti-sugar.
I'm not anti-sugar, and I'm all right. So to start, I'll the three that I did write down are like the three basic ones because I didn't know what you wanted me to do.
Okay.
But there is one weird one that I don't know the answer to, and I need to know if I'm just an idiot, which I probably am, but I've never heard of it before in my whole life. So I hope somebody can explain it to me. But one, tails never fails. Boom. 2, orange for the Orioles. It's got to be the Gatorade color.
Okay.
3, I went with Sir. I went over 22.5 on the first TD jersey number, just because I think it's going to be CMC. So, and that would make all my other bets make a lot more sense. But what the hell's an octopus?
I didn't even say that. It's when they score a touchdown and then they get the touchdown for the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
So
I knew you were going to ask that too. I was like,
yeah, you're the only one who didn't know that. Yeah, because the Jets don't score touchdowns. It makes sense. So you've never actually seen it.
Or they don't go for 2. I mean, hey.
Oh, no, they don't score touchdowns. That's it.
Okay.
Oh, all right. So that's it. Guys, Mark, really quick, I have some fastball questions for you before we go, but those are our picks for the Super Bowl. Please bet responsibly. Don't be like me. I don't even have pants on because I lost them in a bet last week, so that's why it's from the here up. A sight you did not want to envision.
That's too much.
So just bet responsibly. I hope you guys win. I hope, for my sake, you don't, sir. But if you do, I will be happy for you. I have to say, enjoy the game. Mark. All right. So as you like to know, before I get to my Royal Rumble question, which people on Twitch are asking me to ask you, which we won't do that. I always give you some athletes.
What about Cody Rhodes and The Rock?
Yes, we'll get to that. But I want to touch on this first. Really quick. I do have my Puppy Bowl prediction. Almost forgot. I got Team Fluff 55, Team Rough at 45, and the MVP will be Snack Prescott. Mark it in right now as your 20th Puppy Bowl MVP, Snack Prescott. Adopt, don't shop, and watch and donate.
Scott, is the Puppy Bowl considered the postseason?
I'm not falling for this. I'm not.
Because you know Snack Prescott ain't gonna come into play if he's anything like his namesake. He ain't coming to play in the postseason.
Can we bet on it?
I'm not jumping into this. Can we bet? I don't know if we can bet on it. All right, so Mark, as you know, I like to give you some athletes. Throw one in the trash, keep one. And they're always random ones. It's gonna be names so obscure. So here we go. Lyle Overbay or Shelly Duncan?
Oh, Shelly Duncan.
Okay, you're keeping Shelly Duncan.
Keeping Shelly Duncan.
These are all Yankees, by the way. Who played for them at one point. All right.
Shelly Duncan it looked like he was 20 years older than what he actually was.
Yes, and he threw like an awesome fist pump and broke shoulder blades.
Which Dave Duncan, right.
Yes. All right. John Vanderwall or Ricky Leday?
Oh, I'm keeping Ricky Leday. It's the eyebrows.
It's true.
And the failed promise.
Wasn't he part of the trade, the Justice trade, too?
Yes, I think he was. Yes.
All right, Glenn Allen Hill or Shane Spencer?
Well, you can't deny the home run to Spencer. But Glenn Allen Hill, when he used to get a hold of one, he used to pose right at the plate. So I respect for Glenn Allen Hill, but I'd go Shane Spencer.
I just liked how Glenn Allen Hill didn't even swing, and the ball got crushed 500 feet.
Oh, 500 feet, yes.
Yeah, definitely questionable. Also, true story, he missed a few games one year because he had night terrors on the road, and like he was dreaming spiders were attacking him, and he fell through a glass table off his bunk, off the hotel bed. Hilarious. That's actually a true story.
That is Is that true? That can't be true.
Yes, it is. I'll send you the link.
I remember that can't be true.
It's on the internet. It's got to be true.
It is true. That's a true story. Yeah. That, and I looked up sports dumbest injuries one time.
I saw it on the internet. That's got to be true. That's got to be the one.
Dude, I looked up sports worst injuries one time. That was on there. And John Smoltz got third-degree burns because he tried to iron a shirt he was wearing. Like, and as a man, I understand that because you miss the spot. You're like, you know what? And, you know,
I'll just take care of it, right?
Exactly, because we're stupid as men. All right. Now, this one has a little bit of a sweet spot in the hearts of Yankee fans on another team, but I'll go Wilson Benjamin or Luis Polonia.
Oh, Betterman.
You're keeping Betterman.
Yeah, I keep him Betterman. Polonia was one. Well, I mean, it ended really. We don't have to get into everything the way that it ended for Luis Polonia,
Right.
but Polonia was part of one of the worst trades the Yankees ever made, where they traded Ricky Henderson to Oakland, and they got Luis Polonia, Eric Plunk, and Greg Cadaret.
Yeah, but you know what? In Game 5 of the 1996 World Series, the last out, Luis Polonia was the one who hit the ball that O'Neill chased down.
I get it. I loved Ricky Henderson growing up. Ricky Henderson was my guy. I loved Henderson.
Yeah, and the guy was on like 40 teams. His back of his baseball card, that's something interesting.
He was the finishing player in Oakland, Toronto. Yeah. Ricky, and listen, he knows it. You just have to he'll tell you how great he is.
All right. All right. Sean Chacon or Aaron Small? They both came over in that 05 year.
Oh. I would keep Aaron Small.
He went 10-0. 10 straight.
10-0.
Yep.
10-0.
All right. Here's some relievers. Yo, Chacon was great. Yeah. And then they kept him next year and just wasn't good. Two relievers, Coulter Bean or Tanyan Sturtz?
Oh, my God. Well, Tanyan Sturtz, because it puts a smile on my face anytime I say the name Tanyan Sturtz.
Well, that and he was the one who got in the middle of the A-Rod fight versus Veritek and was bleeding from the ear. True story. True. All right, before we get into the Rumble, Mark, all the sports, I want you to say the title winners that you're predicting. NBA, go.
Boston.
Okay. NFL, you got the Niners. Major League Baseball.
Major League Baseball, I think it's going to be the Dodgers.
Oh, boy. Hockey.
Edmonton.
Okay, MLS.
Oh, I have no idea. I have no. NYCFC. I have no.
Okay,
idea.
Fair enough. I'd like the Red Bull to win.
A couple of years ago. I'll go Inter Miami.
Okay.
Inter Miami.
Yeah, Messi's second year. You know, just
why not? Why not? Right?
Catch fire here.
Inter Miami.
All right, Mark, before we get through the Rumble, let everyone know who's watching where we can catch you. And I know are you at FanDuel this Sunday for the game?
I am. I'm doing a watch party with Carl Banks.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to be fun. So Sunday we're doing a watch party. We'll be upstairs. I think you can hop on the Meadowlands website. You can get tickets and seating, and they've got a great spread, wings, burgers, hot dogs, fries, everything, open. They got a bar and stuff like that. So, so we're going to be doing a watch party on Friday night over at the Meadowlands. I'm looking forward to that. And Carl's great. I've known him for a while, so that'll be fun. I'm on Picks Monday through Friday. We do a show. I do a show with Nelson Figueroa, Sports Nation Nightly at 7 o'clock every night, Monday through Friday. Do shows on the Fan on the weekends. Rutgers football in the fall. Football Sunday during the football season on WFAN when I took over for Mike. So keep him busy, as you know.
Yeah, of course, man. And especially you with kids, it's got to be tough, bro. You're a worker.
Tomorrow, the kids, I'm off tomorrow from Picks. Kids got a half day. So my wife's taking my middle son, Paul, up to Saratoga for a hockey tournament. I'm picking up the other two. So we're going to go see a movie, Migration. I don't know if anyone's seen it yet. It's a new, I don't know. It's not so new, but it's been out in the theaters. So we're going to go see a movie, then off to hockey skate, then a little Chinese food on a Friday night. It's a guy's night.
That sounds fun. All right, Mark, once again, I sound like a broken record. For the Rumble, I just wanted, because people are going to be watching, like, get to the Rumble. People on Twitch want you to talk about the Royal Rumble. I don't care about wrestling, but I know people do. So I'm willing to please people here. One more question, though, Mark. Would you rather have a Long Island iced tea with Nas or a Shirley Temple with me? We've drank before. We broke bread.
Yeah,
you know how...
I'd rather have the Shirley Temple with you.
Oh, thanks, man. Nas, sorry, buddy.
God
Maybe if you make it, Nas, you got to make it to FanDuel one Sunday. Nas, you got to make it to FanDuel one Sunday. Me and you will go. We'll meet up with Mark.
Yeah,
great guy.
I'll be there. I'll be there Monday to pick up my my winnings.
Okay,
Watson plus 3,300.
Right. All right. Any other questions for Mark before we get to the Rumble? Nas, you got anything?
Nah.
Tim.
Nah, thanks for joining us, bud.
Yeah,
appreciate it as always.
Sir.
Thank you, brother.
Now, all right, Mark, talk about the Rumble. How'd you feel about it? Go.
No, it's more than just the Rumble. It's then the after effect. What are you talking about? Like Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble, but then he passed off the opportunity to go after Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and allowed The Rock to go after it. So now it's created all this negativity toward The Rock, and obviously everyone's talking about. Listen, I'm one of those guys, and I saw The Rock on Radio Row today with McAfee talking about the Cody whiners. I'm one of those guys that want him to finish the story. I want him to finish the story. I love The Rock. I saw The Rock. I was there during that era of WWE. I was up at Syracuse. I saw them wrestle. I saw him wrestle at the WWE at the War Memorial up there in Syracuse. So, listen, there's no doubt the WWE is king. I think at some point they'll finish the story with Cody Rhodes, but as he said, not right now.
Okay, that's fair.